make a start. So, hi there, Tom. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Well, yes, I will. First of all, Stuart, it's great to meet you, and really appreciate what you're doing, and thanks for having me on this call. Well, originally I'm from Australia, from a little country. Oh, it's not a country town. It's called Brisbane. There's 3 million people there now, and I'm a fully qualified biomedical engineer. Studied engineering, and honestly, really love it, and want to get back more and more into it. And I guess that's what led to a lot of the creation of the systemizing. I was actually working as a systems engineer for London Underground for a year as well, and so I got heavy into building systems. And honestly, like systems have built the world around us. So yeah, and then I just really discovered the internet and have had a love for social media and generating education and income on the internet, and I've been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years and haven't looked back since. So ever since
Awesome.
then, I've been traveling around the world. Spoken to many countries, lived in so many countries, and even down in Argentina, all through Asia, all through America. Got halfway through my private pilot's license in America in Fort Lauderdale Airport. Lived in Hollywood.
Okay.
Just done a lot of different things ever since.
That's a hell of a lot of stuff. And how old are you, Tom?
I'm 20. Actually, I just turned 28 about 3 days ago. Born on the 14th of
28 years
March.
young. Well, many happy returns. That's amazing, all the things you've done in that time, because I certainly found out about you through some of the amazing things you've been doing on Facebook. So, you've really
Yep.
been a pioneer. So, briefly, what is unlimited education, or UIE as it's referred to?
Uh,
Tell us like, in a few sentences what it is.
Well, I mean, really, I mean, it was born out of my own frustration of trying to run an online business and work out how to run an online business. And one of the biggest frustrations was the business was revolving around me, and I'd done so much work. And if I didn't wake up and jump to my computer, I guess what turned out the dream of running an online business or something was making money on autopilot. But when you've got employees and stuff, you're constantly waking up every day and having to start fresh and work out what they're doing and having to talk, and then plus people live on different time zones. It all just got really stressful, and so born out of that own frustration, I realized that I had such a complicated life, and my brain was struggling to manage it all. And that's how I started getting heavy into life mapping, and then I really realized the benefits of it. Once there's a threshold where you get some point, and I really realized the benefits of it at some point when I got done enough maps and done enough life mapping, and it became so critical and gave me so much focus. But I guess the mission statement and the problem that we solve, and I might as well just say it now, and it's what I created, was to once and for all put a stop to being that 3 second fish swimming around in circles in life, and tap into that unlimited power you may unknowingly possess through careful execution of the correct tools and success concepts, and in the process have all areas of your life work for you. And we have really solved that problem. I mean, I don't know if you've ever felt like a 3 second fish swimming around in circles. That's really what the problem was with me running my business in the past. And honestly, people don't even realize that that's the biggest problem that they have. It's not about getting the latest traffic strategy or getting the best website or anything like that. It's about building systems and putting a stop to being that 3 second fish.
Correct.
If you're listening to this right now, you're probably, if you're in a job or something, the only reason that you're still in that job and you haven't advanced and moved forward is because you do suffer from this 3 second fish complex. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question there. We teach people a lot of different things, but one of the biggest things in the UIE growth system is teaching you how to become a powerful communicator online using all the latest tools. Because if you can become a powerful communicator online, you can communicate your ideas and you can literally achieve anything. So yeah.
And a big part of that is certainly is around the life mapping and mind mapping, in order to be able to just organize your life, organize your ideas, and almost release the burden of some of the things that are just going around in your head, like this 3 second
Yeah,
fish all the time.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Like there's people don't people we suffer. We're in this. People have been rattling on about, oh, we're in the information age. It's all about too much information, but still nobody's really. Everyone says that, and it's just a saying, but nobody really knows how to really manage information or manage thoughts inside their head, and that's the real secret of all this. if you can really
Yes.
manage your thoughts inside your head and build your thoughts like people build a building, then you can actually achieve a lot more, probably 10 or 20 times the amount than not doing that. So you have about 70,000 thoughts a day, and a lot of those are just random thoughts. But imagine if you had those thoughts and you started aligning them and start building buildings with those thoughts. That's where the real power of unlimited education really starts to work on you, because a thought is a real thing, okay? And the equivalent of a thought, in the real world, or in reality that we deal with right now, is something tangible. And a thought is actually tangible because it produces real things. It's
Yes.
amazing.
Well, if
It's
you look at
amazing.
any successful entrepreneur or any major business, that always started with a thought.
Yeah, it all starts with an idea and a thought. And I mean, if you can really think about it, what is a thought? Well, we think in terms of symbols, or pictures, and also strings of words. That's what thoughts are. Okay, a thought can be a picture, or it can be a string of words. It can just be one word. It's just like a bite-sized piece of information. And if you put all those bite-sized pieces of information in the right way, in bite-sized pieces of information in the right way, you can really create amazing achievements, or also
Awesome.
generate incredible power.
Great. Well, look, that's excellent. So, um, I mean, it feels like you shared a bit there about your inspiration as well behind UIE. Is there any more you want to share on that
Yeah, well, I
from
mean,
your journey?
UIE also came out of the main thing was, I've made a lot of money on the internet. I've spent a lot of money as well in different businesses and stuff like that. But the problem was that I got heavy into having fun and partying, and I was living in Hollywood, and I actually rented the Orson Welles estate in Hollywood for 6 months. It was if you heard of Orson Welles, he's the guy who did Lord of the War of the Worlds and Citizen Kane, very famous movies. And the Orson Welles estate was literally just a big party house. It's a house that he built, and then it's very famous in Hollywood. And I rented that for a lot of money. So I think it was $16,000 a month stuff. But got to the end of that, and I started to realize it became quite hollow. I had a lot of power, a lot of skills to do different things, but there was all these big problems in the world, and everyone's just sort of like ignoring them in a massive way. And I realized that I can't actually tackle these problems myself. All of them. There's starvation. There's living sustainably. There's the energy crisis. There's viruses. There's rubbish all over the world. It's just we're destroying the planet, and it's up to us. We create the future, and the future depends on what we do right now. And we're just going down the wrong track. We're still driven by trying to make money first. We don't think that we need to make a difference first when real money comes anyway. If you really lead with making a difference first, and we've got all these huge problems, lack of education. There's just so many different problems all over the place. I've got an entire map on it, a public map of all these public problems that we're all dealing with. But we're not, governments are doing the best they can, and they need our support. They need more help and more support to solve these problems. And I realized that the solution to all this, and Bill Gates said, was, the leaders of tomorrow, or the people who become very successful in the future, are the ones who empower the people now, today. So it got to the
Yes.
point where we need to create a system where people feel so empowered and so powerful, that they can then, create residual income. Of course, that's just a side effect of being a powerful communicator online and what you learn in unlimited education. But then they can, once they've helped themselves, they can go out and tackle these bigger problems and start up, structures and companies to tackle these bigger problems like starvation, lack of education, uh, just rubbish everywhere. You go to this different beaches. There's global warming issues. There's energy issues. It's just huge, and we need to do it now. But the good thing is that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and what I've realized is that through UYE, we're probably going to solve a lot of these problems a lot faster than we realize, which is really cool. And the other thing was, we're all working online, but we're also people who crave human interaction. And wouldn't it be great to solve these problems with other human beings? So it's literally just a great group of empowered entrepreneurs who share a passion for the world, the globe, and making a difference in people's lives everywhere.
I can totally get that because when you look at the sites, you see the words authenticity and integrity and transparency. That seems to be a really strong theme throughout the site.
That's very,
So how
yeah.
important is that to you personally?
Say that again.
How important is that to you personally?
That is vital. That is the most vital part of this whole thing. Nothing works without integrity. Nothing works without authenticity. And these days, people are crying out for transparency as well. You know, how cool would it be? So, I mean, even the unlimited education, you can actually go and look at the unlimited education company map and see how the company runs. In fact, we talk a lot about it in the training and share with how the company is running, and that's part of the transparency side because. Uh, and we have a dream that in the future, you'll be able to go to the restaurant and on the internet, you'll be able to look up their company map and see how they structure their companies and how it all works, because it creates
Mm.
more trust with the customer. There's too many companies out there that there's just not enough trust, and transparency offers that trust. Obviously, a company can make a profit and everything, but just sharing with them how they make the profit, or not how they make the profit, but more just how they, how much effort goes into providing that service for that human being, or whoever they may be.
I can imagine
Authenticity.
if you're creating that. Yeah,
Say that again.
yeah. I was going to say if you're creating that community of people that is like-minded people, you never know who you're talking to. So if you're sharing with them some of the bigger challenges and goals and things that you want to create within your business, within UAE,
Mm,
you could easily be talking to someone and sharing somebody that can help you achieve that. So it does make sense.
yep. And I mean, people can go and promise something or say something, but it just becomes this. Someone becomes unbelievable. So you have to have authenticity and you have to have integrity. Nothing works without integrity. So very big on being a man of your word and having a good relationship to your word and literally what you speak out of your mouth, because that's what creates that authenticity and that integrity. Authenticity. If everyone, this is the big problem. There's not enough authenticity out there, and if everyone's lying to each other all the time, backwards and forwards, just nothing's going to work. No one's going to get anything done. We're not going to advance human civilization at all. We're just a bunch of
Yes.
people lying to each other. So
Well, I
nothing
certainly
works without
found
authenticity.
I certainly found, Tom, when I was working in the corporate world, it was almost like people went to work and they put a veil over who they really were as a person,
Mm,
and it was all it was literally like they were going to work as a character, and therefore the people that the people I met, a lot of them weren't being their authentic selves, and it was only when I left the corporate world did I really meet people that didn't wear that veil, people who were willing to be more authentic themselves,
mm.
and you build much stronger relationships, and you work at a much deeper level with people, so it's really powerful.
It's very powerful, and it allows more opportunity. It allows people to work together and build something greater than what they are, or greater than where they're at right now, with authenticity. So it's just the most important part of. I've even got it in the company culture maps and everything, which are all public as well, that you can go and have a look at. Um, because the company culture is just something that's constantly evolving as well. It's just the most important part. Nothing works without it.
I love it. I love it. So when people join, how can I help them right now?
Well, I mean, this is the thing. So many people, they're going trying to build a business, or they're trying to, we've got students joining, we've got, business owners, top end business owners joining, we've got people just looking to make money in some way or start a business for the first time. But the problem is that they're going to going to try and do these things, but normally we're probably stuck in they're, their time is taken up, so they don't have a lot of time to work on their business in the first place, or to do studies or whatever. So they need a way to focus their thoughts. So the first thing it actually does is it helps you to remove the clutter from your life completely, because you get to start doing life mapping, which maybe sounds confronting for some people. And honestly, I had to force myself for about 2 years before all these concepts were about. When I was pioneering this, I mean, really pioneering this in terms of the types of thoughts that we've had now. But it helps you to completely remove the clutter. And there's a sort of a phenomenon that happens where you actually start feeling like you've got a lot of weight off your shoulders. Okay, and you really start to see where you really are at in your life. And then and that's where you kind of get integrity to your life and where you're at, instead of just lying to yourself or giving yourself hope for false hope. And then when you're at that point, that's when you can actually start moving forward and building solid business structures or building a solid study plan if you're a student. And for instance, we had a mum in America, and she was going to she was trying to sell, she was trying to write articles, and then she was doing something else with her children over there, and she just mapped out her life, and she just realized how much time she's just wasting on doing
Yeah.
little tasks that she doesn't need to do. A classic example is going to check emails. Like, everyone normally just goes and checks their emails, and they wait on the receiving end for tasks to do, when really the first thing you should do is go and check your life map and start building your life, like building the foundations of a building. So the first thing
Correct.
UIE will do for you is give you the foundations for success completely. And then every single day you wake up, you're not going to go around in circles. You're just literally, every thought that you have will be building yourself bigger and bigger and bigger. And the bigger you build your maps, the more influence you build, the more money you make. So it's
Yeah.
honestly, it's
Yeah.
different for everybody, but it's more just to jump in there and try it for yourself, and then
Well,
experience the
I know.
benefits.
I know a lot of people now. Some of the things you mentioned there resonate with me. There's lots of people now who will make a point of not checking their email until later on the day, or they'll check it maybe twice a day rather than have that constant feed of emails coming in. Because simply put, if you're checking your emails all the time, all you're doing is letting your day being run by someone else's agenda, aren't you?
Yep, you are. You're
And
just
it's
in
like
someone else's plan, completely in someone else's plan.
yeah, exactly. And the same with Facebook. I've seen people uninstall the Facebook app from their mobile phones, just because they just don't want this constant stream of stuff coming into their life. They want to get a focus back. And I think certainly the mind mapping tool you've got is great. It's very intuitive and easy to use. And I can see how that is just going to help people get clarity right away with what they're doing and how they need to organise things and perhaps change things in their life to take it forward the way they want.
Yeah, I think you really just said a key point there. Clarity. That's the first thing
Yes.
that you're going to get, clarity in your life.
Yeah.
Because you can't. I mean, if whatever you're trying to do, you need to have clarity in what you're doing. If you don't have clarity, then you've just literally got a bunch of random thoughts hanging around in your brain, and you're not
Yeah.
gonna. You end up being frustrated, not getting anything done every day, sitting at your desk, wondering what you're doing, probably staring at your desktop, staring at your computer for a while, and then go and watch TV. And then that's just a day done, and then you've lost another 24 hours of getting your
Correct.
dreams achieved. So
Yeah,
clarity
and I
is a
think
big part of it, and it
about
gives you a constant progressive realization about what you're trying to
yeah.
achieve every single day. So yep.
Well, you mentioned about being authentic to yourself, and certainly I can relate to this where there's things you need to get done, and a day goes by, or a week goes by, maybe even a month goes by, and you don't get it done. But the reality is, it's still nagging in the back of your mind, isn't it? You're not being authentic to yourself, knowing you need to do it by and putting it off. Whereas you get it into your mind map, your life map. Now got a place there where it sits, and you can now organise that and organise the time and to actually get it done. And it's almost like you have a release once you put it in there,
Oh, it's
because
just, yep,
it's now
definitely.
no longer running around in your head. It's now in a plan somewhere.
Yep, definitely, definitely. I mean, you can waste so much time about these little tasks, and we actually have a system in there called the propulsion system, where you make these propulsion maps, and it's
Yeah.
people move away from pain and they move towards pleasure, and all these little nitty gritty tasks. It's about creating the right type of motivation and mapping out your thoughts so that you create yourself the right type of motivation, or almost sort of your own psychological system, which helps you to propel you forward in getting all these smaller little menial tasks done, like maybe it might be the taxes or whatever it could be, and that really helps in actually getting things done pretty much. So very
Yeah.
powerful, that the little propulsion system, mapping system, that really does that. That completely solves that problem. If for me as well, I leave these little tasks around, but because I've got that propulsion system, I don't leave it. I don't have any undone tasks anymore. I've either built a system for it to be done, or I do it myself, and I just really enjoy it because of the psychology I've created and how I've mapped my brain. You get to choose how to map your
Excellent.
brain. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's certainly something they don't seem to teach at school, do they? Really? So
No,
it's a different form of education.
it's the type of education the world is screaming out for, because it allows you to work on you and really get in touch. I mean, everyone is becoming, you get quite spiritual, or some sort of humanitarian side comes out in you that you'd never seen before. And it's because we avoid it, or we're taught to avoid it at school. We're taught, oh, this is wrong, don't do that, don't do this. So we're taught more like machines, when we're actually humans, and we need to nurture our thoughts. Not
Well, I think
not
there's plenty of people out there, even people in the education system, that knows that there's another school of thought in terms of how education can be looked at, and I think it doesn't say it's the wrong way, but there will definitely be different tracks that people follow, and this is very much what you're creating here. But I suspect as well it will converge later on as well.
definitely.
Cool. So I know you're going into the launch phase for UIE. How many people have joined it to date?
We've got about 200 people roughly that have joined it at the moment. I mean, there's going to be loads and loads of people. I mean, I've got deals to bring on a couple of 10,000 people, couple of 10,000 people, so 20 or 30,000 people over the
Wow.
next 6 months. So there's plenty of people, and plus people are just once you experience that euphoria, you just can't keep your mouth shut about it basically, and so people are joining up left, right, and center all the time. But yeah, so very exciting. Still,
Excellent, excellent. So now I know
we
there's
can't
more.
program enough to keep up with the demand. That's our issue right now.
Yeah, because I know you've got more tools and features that you're adding all the time.
Yep.
What's the overall vision then for the rest of 2014?
What was that? What's the overall vision for 2014? 2014, we
Yeah.
want to set up an office in every single major city so that people, and also put computers in those offices so people can walk in off the street and learn how to start mapping out their life and achieving what they want to achieve. So that's a big vision. So we want to set an office up in Brisbane, Sydney, Perth, New York, London,
Yeah.
um, LA, San Diego, Berlin, Sofia in Bulgaria. So there's a lot of different places that we want to set up offices, and just let people, because we're the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Okay, if you spend your time with,
Yeah.
if you think about it, if you go through school, and this is one of the big things that we have in our company culture map, when you go through school, you have the same sort of attitudes, wear the same sort of clothes, listen to the same sort of music. Again, when you go into university, have the same attitude, probably the same political attitudes, same ideas. Then you uh, go into work, you probably earn the same amount of money, wear the same sort of clothes, same attitudes. And it's the same for if you want to go and achieve anything else. If you want to really achieve anything, you need to be around people who are interested in achieving, and that's kind of rubs off on you. It actually upgrades your mindset, and your, whatever thoughts or whatever information you feed into your brain at that time will also be helping you to achieve your dream. So it gives you a community by which you can, if we have these offices by which you can surround yourself with. Probably,
Yes.
many people deal with people who are trying to achieve stuff. Many people deal with, those negative people or those dream stealers. This allows you to really nurture those dreams or nurture those thoughts, and make them a reality.
Yes. Well, when you think about it, there's lots of collaborative workspaces that are all over the world today, where
Yep.
entrepreneurs can basically tap into that workspace and meet like-minded people. It sounds like your vision is to create a similar kind of thing to that.
Yep. Definitely. There'll be, yeah. I mean, some of the offices will be in
Nice.
collaborative workspaces.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, definitely. And something you said there about school and university and even work life. I was working a number of years in London and in the city. I remember, one year my son and wife came down to London because I normally commuted like 4 hours a day to get to work and back. And
Yep.
this summer, my wife and son came to London and met me at the office. And my son had never met uh,
Oh no.
into the foyer. He just kept seeing people going, "Oh, there's Daddy,"
Hey, could you
and it
just
wasn't.
could
It
you
was
just
someone else.
repeat
Oh, there's
repeat
Daddy,
that?
and it was
Hey, Stuart, could you just repeat that?
yeah. So I was
think
saying here how
I think the audio just cut out a bit for me, and I didn't hear it. I was like
okay.
saying, "Oh no, go
Yeah,
for it."
so I was saying how I was working in London in the city, and I was commuting 4 hours a day for a few years and working insane hours. But one summer, my wife and son came down to London to meet me in the office, and and it just struck me. There was this moment where it struck me about how much we conform, and how much society teaches us, from school with school uniforms, and all the way through life teaches us to conform and fit in, and and basically it struck me because my son was waiting for me to come downstairs in this big office, like 20-story office building, and he was seeing all these people in suits come down the lift into the foyer, and he kept saying to my wife, "Oh, there's Daddy." and then it would be someone else, it's a complete stranger, and then he'd see someone else, go, oh, that's Daddy. And every time for like 10 people, it was never me. It was someone else that looked just like me because they were wearing a suit just like me. And when he told me the story and saw me, it was just it just struck me just how much we just try to fit in. When in fact, if we actually tapped into our full potential and collaborated and created a community around people that are like-minded and want to have a bigger vision in terms of creating, um, a bigger impact, a more lasting impact in the world. This is where I can see UIE really, really delivering massive value to people.
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is the thing. Like, we're all working in these corporate jobs and stuff like that, but we still feel like in this day and world, probably a lot of us, 90% of us, have this massive hole in our life, a big hole in our heart, and we don't know what it is, and we don't know how to fill it. Well, basically, what people get out of UIE is filling that hole, filling that missing part to their life, to their humanity, or whatever it
That's
might
a
be.
great way of looking at it.
Yeah.
We can touch upon that a bit more in a minute. So beyond 2014, what's the plans into 2015 and beyond?
Really, I mean, just to empower millions of people around the globe, we've created an amazing platform whereby this can happen. Help people with so many startup businesses, help students get through their exams, just help anybody that needs help. I mean, we're in the business of dealing with what people are dealing with. And I think we've probably created, through our maps and the way we work and our online collaboration, we've created the most dynamic, most robust system or business on the planet to allow us to achieve that, because we're mapping our thoughts. So really, just to really help people create thousands and thousands, if not millions, of businesses that can really help the planet, save the planet, and do it in a way that's profitable and a way that is honestly the best thing for humanity.
So aside from the mind mapping tool, Tom, what other tools are there that's coming into the platform that people will be able to benefit from? That's going to help them.
Well, we've got a project management system. So if you want to get any project done, that's actually linked into the maps as
Okay.
well, so that you can track the progress of getting projects done. We've got live chat. We've got a social network, so you can go and share your maps with the social network. And when you go and share and talk about your maps with somebody else, often, probably 100% of the time, you get a lot of insight into improving your business, improving your maps, and making your life a better thing. We've got these online sharing webinars where people go and just literally share their maps and share what they're doing. And so a lot of people get breakthroughs just by doing that, attending those sharing. In fact, that's probably the real magic of the product of UIE, because sharing the way other people are mapping their thoughts, you actually see how other people think. And
Yes.
that's, if you knew how a successful person thought, or if you knew how Bill Gates thought, you probably would have a better understanding about how you can move forward as well.
Yeah, that's
We've got a
I can
forum.
well understand
Yeah, we have forums where people jump in and can go and get their questions answered or share their products and services with other people. We're actually building in we have a course marketplace where people can go and do courses.
that. Products.
Yep, we've go and put products in there, because everybody has something to teach. We all have something
Yes.
to learn from everybody. It's just about hearing each other's stories and going through. So yeah, it's very powerful. What else do we have? Oh, there's just so many things. It just, because we're doing life mapping, we cover literally every aspect of people's lives. I'm
It sounds
currently
like a
building
ton
a.
of tools there. It sounds like you've got a ton of tools there, which if you actually, were going out and buying, things like Basecamp or mind mapping tools are out there. Individually, you'd be spending hundreds of dollars on those kind of things.
Yeah, you would, just for Basecamp alone, I think is $100 a month. We only charge
Yeah.
$66 a month, and you get everything Basecamp does within the system, plus access to a marketplace of hundreds of free courses, and also access to your life mapping, where you can start building your life instead of just going around circles.
Okay. Yeah. So the courses side is a bit like Udemy in a way, isn't it? Udemy.com.
Oh yeah, yep, definitely like that. Yep.
Okay, great. So what type of person will get the most benefit from the site?
Well, we've had all sorts of people coming to this site. We've had lots of students coming to the site because they're struggling. The people who are struggling with getting things done seem to come to filter to the site first. So lots of students trying to get their homework done and get their projects done and things like that. Then we've had business people. Obviously they've got very busy lifestyles and they struggle to manage everything. So they've been coming to the site and getting a lot of benefit. People who are just want to learn about computers. We've had grandmas who just want to do a course on computers and how it all works.
Yeah.
It's an online education company, so that we've pretty much everybody from all walks of life have been coming to this site. But
Sounds
that
as well like people. Yeah, sorry, Tom. It sounds like people as well who are coaches, people who do a lot of online coaching with with clients, stuff like that. Sounds like they'd certainly benefit from a lot of these kind of tools.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of online coaches have been coming to the site to start doing their coaching through it because, if, for instance, for me, when I do a coaching call, the first thing I do is I start up a map and we summarize everything that's happened on the call, and then we add that to the maps so that we can track the progress and keep moving forward instead of just going around in circles. Because once you
Yes.
anchor yourself to your life map, then everything that happens in that life map actually becomes you and who you are. So it's really powerful like that.
Yeah, because am I right in saying, because we had a little look at this before we started this call, you showed me your life map where you had like 100 different maps that all drilled down from it in different areas of your life.
Yep.
I mean, that's really powerful, isn't it?
It's very powerful. It's just incredibly powerful. Like, I've never felt so clear-minded and free in my life. Like, it's like this massive brain dump, and then I've got all this space inside my brain to literally just create and choose to do new things in life. So I've just started up a new hobby. I've bought like this quadcopter, which is those little drone helicopters, because I actually have a plan to
Oh yeah.
use these drone helicopters to pick up rubbish around the planet. So I thought I might as well buy one now.
See how it works. Excellent.
Yep.
Well, it sounds like a better plan than using it to deliver Amazon products.
Oh well, yeah, that's another plan Amazon have. Yeah.
Excellent. So how can regular people benefit financially from joining?
This is the really cool thing about this. Like, for people who join up, if they progress through the growth system, which honestly, the UIE growth system is literally just tools to become a powerful communicator online. So you can literally
Yes.
communicate through a computer like you're literally standing in front of somebody. Um, Once you do that, then we've got this big need that we need to help other people do the same thing. So you can qualify to be a training facilitator, which pretty much everyone does. It's literally a course that will take you literally like 4 hours of watching videos. It's not that long at all. I think it's even less than that. But then you can be a training facilitator, and you can actually get we've got so many customers joining that you'll probably end up having to being a facilitator for other people who need to go through that same system and get those same breakthroughs. And every student that you have, you actually get $33 a month when you're on the Make a Difference program, being a training facilitator. So you can basically start your own online school and be the training facilitator for that school, and you can have up to 300 people in your class. And having 300 people in your class means that you get roughly about $10,000 a month residually. Okay, so that all those people are going to be constantly paying $66 a month. You get 50% of that to help them and manage them and point them in the right direction all the time. So yeah, I mean, in terms of like earning residual income, I've never seen anything like this before. But we're doing that because we do need teachers and coaches and trainers and people of those sorts, because the site's not about just sign up to some system and you know follow through and do all the training videos. It's about connecting with people. It's about having real conversations with people. It's about building strong, powerful relationships and networks where new businesses can be created so that we can achieve, saving the planet.
Excellent, excellent. I mean, it certainly doesn't feel like something that you're going to simply let all the gurus go out there and promote it to like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people.
They
It sounds
can't
like this is
because no, they just can't because they only receive 300 people on their first student level. I mean, and then they can, there's a second student level where they can earn 25% commissions monthly, but otherwise it pushes money down to the people who need it, because oftentimes somebody who needs to start a business or wants to start a business, the only thing that's holding them back is they're flat out in their full-time job. They don't have enough time to work on their business. So we understand that at the same time, you can, it's like a scholarship program almost, that we can start feeding money down to you as long as you start, helping your class members.
yeah. So it feels like it's almost trying to help people become financially free, so that it allows them to really pursue their dreams and their passion and what they want to achieve in life, rather than like you see students today, they're going to university and they're working 2 or 3 part-time jobs just to maintain their studies.
Yep.
Whereas this could easily give them enough of an income to mean they don't have to be doing that. And actually, given this is all about education and improving yourself, the site here has got a lot of synergy with someone at university, isn't it? Really?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're an online education company, and having all these offices in the future will definitely cause us to be an offline education company as well. But I mean, yeah, having said that, like there's a lot of students that's exactly what they are doing for their regular income. Just helping other people jump online and getting them all set up and helping them build the foundations to their life and achieving their dreams. And that's honestly a great feeling.
Yes. Yeah. Excellent. So yeah. So I mean, from your point of view, what does being financially free mean to you?
Being financially free mean to me? Well, I mean, honestly, having residual income. I mean, I met a guy about 2 or 3 years ago, and he'd just sold his business for $19 million, and he'd spent about $6 million of it by the time I was talking to him. And and he said to me, we had some conversation. He said to me, Tom, I would far rather have residual income money, a check coming in every month residually, than being given a check for $19 million, because it's more about because then you just go on a spending spree. It's also about um, knowing that money is going to keep coming in all the time. So financially free doesn't mean having a bunch of money. Like he would probably consider himself not to be financially free because now he still has to work out how to generate money coming in instead of his bank account going down every day or every week.
Yep.
And that definitely happens when you make a lot of money. So being financially free is about, yes, making money, but building structure where that money continues to come with you for the rest of your life. And that's what I love about UIE, because once you have your students, and you can actually have up to 90,000 students, you can actually generate with the company itself, if you're part of the MAD program, the Make a Difference program, you can actually generate just under $1.5 million a month in commissions for yourself. So that's a very high level of being financially free. But for me, financially
That's
free,
crazy, isn't it?
yeah, we worked that
That's,
out.
that's crazy, but very real.
Yeah, but very real. And I mean, you do that by building your own businesses. That's all you're doing, but very real. That's the first priority. UIE is not about, I just must point out, UIE is not about selling UIE. That's not about it. UIE is about making a difference in your life first, helping you build up, set up a successful business, whatever your business name is. And then at that point, that's when you can become a part of the MAD Make a Difference program. And that's when you can start earning more residual income, if not, on top of what you're already earning from your own business. So being financially free for me in terms of money means, earning roughly about $6,000 a month for the rest of my life. That's all it means for me. But, having the time to be able to work and choose where I want to spend my time thinking about things and solving bigger problems on the planet.
Yeah, that's the surprise, isn't it? I mean, in the UK, that'd be about £4,000, and that's for a lot of people, they're in that position, but maybe they're tied down with mortgages and credit card bills and lots of other outgoings and commitments that means they're not really financially free. But if you knew that money was coming in as a residual every single month, then it suddenly frees up the time to be looking at other things like creating a business and creating a community. And it certainly feels like there is a real community being created within UIE. Is that right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we have people having breakthroughs every single day, and they share it on their timelines, and then other people are commenting, and it's just I don't. It's just crazy how it's all kind of snowballed, and this real, true, authentic online community that's just developing through all of this, and it's because everyone can see each other's life maps. If you want to share your life maps, people feel like they have a real connection with people when they start talking about the thoughts inside their brain. But that's not. I'm just not. Let's not freak out here. It's not about sharing every single little detail about you, but it's just when you start to hear about how people think in their brains, you actually, you see yourself in the same way, and that's what creates a stronger relationship, and really is what the reason for this growing, authentic community that's developing with UIE right now.
Well, I think certainly, from in terms of human nature, showing your vulnerable side
Yeah,
can be a very powerful experience. I know a guy online about 12 months ago basically shared a video that he saw that really moved him, um, called Earthlings, and he shared that on Facebook, and and really was upset by what he saw. And at that point, he said, "I want to be vegan," and that video was shared thousands of times, and it for him it completely launched a whole new dimension to his life where suddenly people rallied round to support him and to help him, and it was profound from his perspective. It all came from that one first step of showing himself to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot to be said for that. It's not for everybody, and some people maybe need to do things before they feel comfortable. But what I like about UIE is it feels like a very supportive community where you perhaps would could be able to do that much earlier on, and much more quickly, because it is a really safe environment to be sharing stuff.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we've had people forming very powerful relationships and meeting in the members area. But I mean, here's a good example of that. I mean, just it doesn't really mean vulnerability, but Gandhi, shares his vulnerable side. Nelson Mandela, another great leader, shared his vulnerable side, and people are worried. What's happened after Mandela dies? Well, I'm not really worried because UIE is going to create another 1,000 of them. For the people who want to do those sorts of things, that type of leadership, it's just incredibly powerful. And that's just one aspect that you'll get and be able to really motivate the masses and achieve whatever you want to achieve.
Yes. Well, it looks like there's people joining the site right now who have some, I don't know, what you call big dreams, outside of maybe their core career or core business. And they want to use UIE to kind of share their vision with others, and then, in a way, free up enough time and money so they can then pursue it. Can you give some example of, not necessarily people, name people, but give some example of some of those dreams that people have put out there within that community already, some of the things they want to achieve where they've got a real big passion to go out there and help other people. Have you got some examples of that?
Well, one of there's a lot of different examples, but we got this DJ who owns a yoga business in LA, but he's always wanted to do DJing, and then he started mapping out everything in DJing as well, and now he's actually doing both of them, which is really cool. He's got quite a successful yoga business where he teaches yoga online and offline. It's like a lifestyle company, so that's really powerful. We've got another guy who had some massive breakthroughs just in his relationship with his wife, and it's allowed him to completely work a lot more on his business, and it's become quite successful because of that. Oftentimes it's these smaller breakthroughs, these little things that may be happening in our relationships, or it might be happening, and enabling. Have you ever heard like how a psychologist says, or a physiotherapist, not a physiotherapist, but yeah, like people say, oh, you got a problem? Oh, often it helps if you write your problems down. Well, actually, we do that with life mapping as well, except we do it in a very three-dimensional way where you can really start tracking your thought processes. And when you get to do that, you actually get to take a step back and actually look at your life like a game of chess. And when you do that, that's when you really have a lot of power. And that's where it's in that sort of that little that sort of like exercise that we cover in UIE, which actually has been giving people access to achieve really amazing things inside the company. We've got another guy who's got this company that sets up other people with their businesses and stuff like that, and he's just doing really well. He contacted me the other day and was just shocked by how people, for the first time in his life, he's got customers coming back to him and saying, thank you so much for helping me on such a personal level. Like before, he had customers and they weren't really, they get a mediocre service. Now he's really making a difference both in their business life, but also in their personal life as well. And it's causing incredible breakthroughs for himself and made him a lot happier because he's got happy people coming back to him and just completely blown away by what the type of information that he's teaching. So there's just loads of different examples. Students doing well on their exams, finally getting clarity about how their exam works and everything like that. There's just so many different examples.
Great. Well, I guess there's no substitute for coming on board and seeing and experiencing it. Now, I know you said it costs $66 a month, doesn't it, to join the site?
Yep.
Is there a trial period so that people can check it out first?
Well, actually, you can go along and sign up for free if you want. And there's a you can go and sign up for free, or you can go and do the one. You get like a limited version of the software, where you can
Okay.
make a maximum of 3 maps. But I mean, I've got over 200 maps, over 300 maps, I think. The real power happens when you actually take the $1 trial, which you can get a $1 trial for 7 days. So I encourage you to enroll and do the $1 trial straight away, because then you get access to the full access to the website, to the rest of the website, access to talk to the community, meet other people, full access to the UIE growth system, so you can become a powerful communicator online. So after 7 days, it goes to $66 a month, and that is it. We're not interested in making money. We're interested in making a difference in your life. And you'll really see that when you start going through the training and you have your training coordinator or your training facilitator helping you along every step of the way. So
Yeah, because
that's it.
one of the things that blew me away, you mentioned like the fact that you've got these deals where you're looking to bring sort of 10,000 people and stuff like that into the site. I think you referred to the fact that um, where people are really active within the site and really embracing the philosophy behind the site. That one of the things you're looking to do is actually place people under some of the existing members.
Definitely.
Is that
Yep.
right?
Yeah, definitely. If we've got a system, a formula that, so if you've gone through the UIE growth system and a few of the courses and you're qualified, you can actually, we'll just place those members under you, and you become their training facilitator. Because honestly, I can only train about 300 people and that's it. And my brother Hamish can only do 300 people. So where else are we going to put these people? And we're going to be putting them under you. So in a lot of ways, not going to happen all the time, but in some ways, someone will join up and they'll be paying $66 a month, and then the following month, all of a sudden, they'll be earning $500 back.
Wow.
And they've become an online trainer just because the world's screaming out for this as well. I mean, the company needs this. So yeah, if you're good at
That's
computers, it'd be
amazing.
great.
'Cause, there'll be many people out there that would say, that you wouldn't have capped the 300 people under you, but actually, as the co-founder of the company, you're playing by exactly the same rules
Oh, we're
as everyone else who
all, yep.
joins.
We're all under the same rules, and it's all about making a difference in people's lives.
That's brilliant, Tom. So, in terms of next steps, I mean, how can people get started?
Well, I suggest they
Do
go
they need,
through.
a referral or something like that?
Yeah, they just go through and do the $1 trial straight away. You can't sign up on the website. You need to know somebody who
Okay.
can sign you up. So, if you're listening to this right now, you're probably getting a link where you can go and do the $1 trial straight away. Just literally do the $1 trial straight away, guys. Just do it. You'll see the benefits straight away,
Okay.
and you can always cancel at any time. Don't worry. We're more than happy if you want to cancel. You can. It's not a problem. I mean, you'll probably end up. What's happened? We've had people cancel in the past when the site wasn't fully finished, and then they've turned around like a month later and been like, "Oh yeah, I've actually started going around in circles in my life again, and I really do need to join back up, please." I was just speaking to this guy the other day, and he was trying to find out what his old password was because he wasn't looking at it for 2 months, and then he just realized that he is just going around in circles in life, and he doesn't want to do that for the next 10 years. So he's just joined back up straight away.
That's
So
great. And I've only been on the site for a little while, but already I've seen, changes within the site where you're adding new features all the time. So, it really looks like there's a lot of focus on this from your end.
yeah, we're in a very heavy growth period right now, so there are a lot of changes as well. Um, but it's very exciting. I mean, we're in the business of dealing with what people are dealing with, and we will always change to empower the common man and woman.
Brilliant. Well, I'll put the link, Tom, below this video so people can click on that link and go and look at doing the $1 trial. And thank you very much for your time. It's been brilliant to get some of your insight into where UI has come from and some of the benefits around how it's going to help people and this fantastic community you're creating here. So thank you again for your time.
Well, thank you, Stuart, and looking forward to the future. I think anyone who joins UIE has just a really, really bright future ahead of them, and pretty much for everybody else, it's probably a little bit dark and grim and probably a little bit uncertain. But definitely inside UIE, everyone's dreams get nurtured and created and developed and realized and made possible. So it's very exciting. And thank you very much for having me, Stuart, and thanks for the call.
You're welcome. Thank you.